Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you are new. My name is Carrie, and today's video I'm going to share with you my mom's kitchen makeover. So as you can tell in these before clips, her kitchen is very dark and just kind of outdated. So the plan is to kind of do like a modern farmhouse style, but still have that country charm that my mom really loves. So the plan is to paint the counters, paint the countertops, the cabinets, and the walls, and just give this space a nice fresh start. So first thing we did was start clearing out this space. So now I'm going to go ahead and start prepping to paint. And all I did was just take a degreaser and clean the cabinets and the countertops really well. And now I'm going to go in with the Kilz Complete Coat paint and primer mix. This is sold at Walmart. I believe you can buy this at Lowe's as well, or Home Depot. But it's just a pre-mixed white color. And I like to use this on the countertops to give like a good base solid color, and it also just blocks out any stains or any like different colors that might be on the countertops. Now originally the plan was for me to work on the countertops while my mom painted the rest of the kitchen, but obviously that did not work and go as planned. So after painting all the countertops white, I decided to go ahead and start knocking out the paint with my mom, like on the walls and the cabinets. And then I figured I could go in on the next day and do all the sponging for the faux granite. So if you are going to do this project, I recommend going ahead and painting your cabinets and your walls first, and then do your countertops all in one day. But because we did it this way, I wanted to just show you guys how we actually did it. So all I'm doing here is just taking a roller and just rolling on the Kilz paint. You'll notice that it just covers up all the stains that you can see on the countertops right there. There's a lot of yellowing, and this just helps seal all the odors and gives you just that fresh base to start with, to start sponging on. Like I said, we're not starting on that just yet. I'm just showing you how I did paint the countertops. So at this point, we realized that there was a lot of textures going on, so we tried to start peeling off some of this wallpaper to see what would happen, and it kept getting worse and worse. So we decided to just stop, just try to smooth it out a little bit, and paint over it. We also decided to paint over the cabinets, including the hinges and the knobs as well. Since they had already previously been painted, there was no point in us trying to take the cabinet doors off and try to paint them the proper way. We just decided to just go over them and paint everything solid white.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know a single thing that I haven't done to make you notice me. Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. I don't know what I could say to convince you to hang around when you don't have to.
So immediately after starting to paint the faux brick, you could already tell just how much more clean and open the kitchen was looking. And now I did want to mention that we did decide to paint the entire kitchen white first. And then after painting the whole kitchen white, a few coats. My mom decided that she wanted to do the kitchen agreeable gray, which is the same color that's in my house. And since I had a whole 5-gallon bucket left over from it, I decided to just let her use some of it so we didn't have to buy any additional paint. And we only needed a tiny bit to finish her kitchen. So after doing all this white, we ended up painting it gray. So it's totally fine. It turned out really nice. And honestly, painting it white first gave it that really good prime. So it was a lot easier to paint on the agreeable gray. And then as far as the cabinets go, you'll see that I'm just painting the areas that are painted green. I'm not actually painting the whole inside of the cabinet just because they were already white. They weren't pure white, like perfect, but we were just trying to make this kitchen look better than it did. So that was the goal here. It wasn't to make this kitchen look brand new or, to do a full remodel. If my mom owned this mobile home, that would be a different story. But because this is a rental, we were just trying to make it look a lot nicer than it did. And I did decide to paint over the light switches, which you'll notice because they were really dingy and they were painted over from the landlord. So I wanted everything to be really nice for my mom, and I wanted her to love her kitchen because I know that she has been wanting this done for a while. It's just one of those projects that just take time and that you just have to plan to get it done. But I'm really proud of us that we knocked this out in 2 days. Like, that is awesome. A lot of work, a lot of painting, but we did it. So just to make this easier than having to explain where each individual item came from, I figured I would just list everything in the description box for you guys. So make sure you check that out if you need to know the paint color, where we got the rollers, the paintbrush, all that, and the prices. I will just have it all listed there so you can take a screenshot to refer to if you need to. So I'm going to go ahead and just speed this up, and we are going to continue to paint. Like I mentioned earlier, we did 3 coats of white paint on the cabinets, 2 coats on the walls, and then we are going to go in with agreeable gray and start painting the gray color in the kitchen as well. So this is the color Agreeable Gray by Sherwin Williams that I was telling you guys about that I absolutely love. This is the same color that's in my entire house, so I think it's a perfect neutral. It's like not too gray, it's not too beige, it's just the perfect tone, honestly. So we decided to do her whole kitchen this color, and since we had already primed the walls, it was really easy and it was a quick, easy coat to do, and it only took 2 coats of this color to get a nice, smooth finish.
I didn't do that. I did.
Yes, you did. I didn't paint that wall.
I didn't either.
Oh, we'll see on the camera.
My Lord, what did you do?
What?
Can you see?
Can you see? Don't try me. Hey, I'm over here helping you.
Hey, can you see?
No, I told you I don't want to. So now moving on to my favorite part of this project, it was painting the countertops. So if y'all have been watching me for a while, you know I have done this quite a bit. I did this in my mobile home in Georgia, and then I also just recently did this on my kitchen island to copy the granite in my kitchen for a fraction of the cost. So now I'm doing it to my mom's kitchen because it is so affordable and it lasts, and it's just a great option if you are trying to save money but still update your kitchen. So the first step is to paint the entire countertop with a kilz paint and primer, or any paint and primer will work. So you just want to make sure you have a solid base, and then you want to start layering on your colors. So I'm just using a dish sponge that is cut into a circle with scissors, and just going in with my first color that I created, which is a light tan, and I'm going in all over in no specific pattern and just trying my best to get into the creases and edges, and just completely cover all the white with the tan first. So after sponging on your first color, now you're going to go back over with another color the exact same way. No particular order, you're just sponging this on. The more layers you add, the better and better it looks. So now I'm just going to go on with this elephant gray and do the exact same process. So now I'm going in with the black. The goal here is to kind of just give some dimension. So you'll notice that I have some really patchy areas that are really, really dark black, and then I kind of just fade them out, and that is to give the real natural granite look. So like with my real granite countertops that I have at my house, there are areas that are very, very dark, and there's areas that are very light, and that is just how natural granite looks. So that is what I'm trying to mimic here. So I'm going to go over the entire countertop now with the black, doing some very heavy areas, and then the very last part is adding on the white, which completely transforms these countertops. So don't skip now, you have to see this because it looks amazing when I start adding on the white. So now I'm going to go ahead and start adding on the white, and to do this I'm using a balled up paper towel, and that is only because I ran out of sponges. I didn't want to use a sponge that I had already used, so I just balled up a paper towel, and this gave the exact same effect that the sponge does. So if you have paper towels, you might not even need a sponge. This works just as good. And I am just adding the white paint heavier in some areas and then blending it out. And this is so important. So if you are doing this project, I definitely recommend adding 4 to 5 layers of paint. The more layers you add, the more dimension it gives and the more realistic it looks. I have learned this over time because I have done this quite a few times. So I've gotten, pretty good at it. And I think it's really important that you add those layers for dimension. But I'm going to continue to add on this white, and you can see, especially in that crease that you can see right there, when I add in the white, it just that crease disappears and it looks blended, which is what the entire goal was. I was worried about how that was going to look, finished. But as soon as I added on those white like little specks, it just looked perfect. So that is how I got these countertops to look like this. It's really easy. This is not a hard project. This is something anybody can do. Honestly, it's a foolproof project. If you are wanting to do this and you have been scared, I've had a few subscribers comment and say that they haven't gathered up enough courage yet to do it. I hope that this video gives you that courage, because it's not hard. It really isn't hard, and all you have to do is just start adding layers of paint, and the more layers you add, the more and more it looks like real granite. So this is how it looks now that it is all done. So now I'm going in with the polycrilic clear semi-gloss sealer, and I'm going to seal these countertops. Now, I do know that if you wanted like a thicker look, you could totally use, I think it's called epoxy. That is another option if you don't want to use polycrilic. I have personally never worked with epoxy, so I was not comfortable trying to use it on my mom's countertops. So maybe in the future I will practice with it and we'll see. But I just love this polycrilic. It dries so fast. You can layer it really quickly. I don't even sand in between layering, and I've never had an issue. I did this on my countertops in my new house, and I also did this in my house when I lived in Georgia, in our mobile home, and they are still holding up great. So I just did a total of 3 coats. The first coat was very thin. The second coat I did really thick, and the third coat was also extremely thick. What I did was I just poured the polyacrylic on the countertop into a big glob and just spread it out as evenly as possible. But I did use a foam brush to do this because I personally feel like it gives it the smoothest finish.
Yeah, it's gonna look so cute.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cute. Yeah. Oh, watch out, sorry. Yeah, it looks so good. So another great way to save money if you're doing a kitchen update is to spray paint the original hardware that you have rather than buying all new hardware. So it would save you a ton of money. Spray paint, you can buy a good can of Rust-Oleum spray paint for less than $5, and 1 can go a long ways. So after putting all the knobs back on, we are now replacing some of the switch covers and plug covers that she had. If you can't afford to replace them, I recommend just taking them off and either spray painting them or just painting them with a coat of paint, and it will make a huge difference. So now for the final reveal, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder on how my mom's kitchen looked before we got started, and show you guys all the hard work and paint that we put into this project. I think it looks so good. I also wanted to give you a close-up on how her countertops look before we painted them, and just show you like all the stains and all the marks that they had. So this is the final kitchen reveal. Look how much brighter and how much more new it looks in here just with paint. Nothing has been replaced in here. All the cabinets are the same. Everything's the exact same. They just have a fresh coat of paint and some paint on the countertops. We also just rearranged some of her home decor and pulled things out from other areas in her house to kind of give it more of a modern farmhouse look. And I think it turned out absolutely amazing. Y'all let us know what you think in the comments below. I really appreciate y'all watching so much, and if you know somebody who wants to do a makeover on their kitchen but they don't have a lot of money to spend, please feel free to send this video to them. Share it with a friend, a family member. I really appreciate it so much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, y'all.